The Town Meeting by Teddy Alexander. One early morning in the summer of northern Ellesmere Island, Canada, a family was startled with noise in their backyard. The father and his son loaded their shotguns to investigate the intruder. They were surprised to see an injured female polar bear going through their garbage. The father, pulling his son behind him, was ready to shoot. "Son, back away. These polar bears are very aggressive, especially for finding food." "Dad, I beg you not to shoot the poor mama bear. It is searching for food to bring back to her cubs. Look at the poor animal and how she's injured. She must have just come out of hibernation." The father whispered back, "What if she tries to kill you?" The poor bear could see the father and the son, but was too hungry to care. Injured and weak, her maternal instincts drove her out of the den in search of food for her cubs. Mother polar bears care for their cubs for as long as 30 months. The son thought fast as the polar bear was getting aggressive and decided to get some fish from the freezer while the father rushed to call the vet. The son, carrying 2 frozen fish in each hand, quickly went to grab his heavy jacket to battle the freezing climate. The fog was coming out of his breath gracefully as his heart continued to race. The mother bear ate through her 4th salmon before she fainted from fatigue. Luckily for the father and son, the vet had soon arrived. As the vet checked on the mama bear, he noticed that there was a piece of glass stuck in her paw, and it was only to come from a broken glass bottle. The son bowed his head and tightened his lips in disgust. He knew that despite evolution, humans these days continue to act like cavemen. The next day, the father decided to call a town hall with the rest of the villagers to discuss several options for the mama bear. Each and every one of the 50 villagers sat seat by seat as the father took the stand. Half of the worried villagers said the bear should be shot on the spot, whereas others stated that the bear and her cubs should be left alone. The son, fearing the decision would lean towards shooting the bear, forcefully stopped his weight until he made it to the stand. "People, think about this for a second. This mama bear is fighting for her life as she wanders around this island looking for food. So if you even think about killing her, you're going to have to come and kill me first." Every villager, including his father, gasped and was in complete shock. The villagers debated and came to the conclusion that the best solution is to reunite the family. They knew that the bear was unable to walk for a couple of days due to her injury and figured out that she must have traveled many miles far from her cubs to find food. While receiving medical care, the villagers could see the true skin and color of the polar bear. Black, like the black sand beaches of Iceland, encapsulated the bear. Naturally, in the snow, the polar bears reflect off both the light and snow, which is white. But with melting ice caps and fewer inches of snow, the polar bear reflected the skin under its fur coat. The villagers, ashamed and stunned, rushed to make sure that the mama bear and her cubs were reunited and safe. As half the villagers set out to find the baby cubs, the other half looked for a suitable environment on the island. After several hours of searching, the latter half of villagers came across an uninhabited igloo. They gathered a sufficient amount of food supply and stored it inside the igloo. As part of the search committee, the son looked for the cubs. A white speck had caught the corner of his eye. He could not hold his feelings in and rushed to the weary and exhausted cubs. He tried to carry one of the cubs, but each of them weighed at least 15 to 20 pounds. He had his strongest villagers put each of them on a dog sled as they reunited with the villagers of the igloo. The son was overcome with feelings of joy and benevolence, as he knew that he had succeeded in this journey. Look, father, we found the baby cubs, said the son. Well, son, it was all because of you. I'm really proud and honored to have you as my son. You took a concerning problem and provided a great solution, replied the father. The villagers did not mind the hard work to locate the baby cubs and find them in an igloo. Their feelings were based on the guilt of humans forcing the polar bears out of their habitat. Once the supplies were ready by the next day, the mother polar bear seemed energized by the abundance of food and medical care. Once they tracked the cubs, they decided to surprise their recovering mama bear. The cubs playfully followed her into the cage. Mama bear woke up inside the igloo, surrounded by the cubs and food supply, in the middle of nowhere. The spirits were high amongst the tired men as they made their journey back home. The father called upon another town meeting. Only this time, his son took the stand. The son surmised out loud, "We now understand the agony and exhaustion experienced by all polar bears on a daily basis. Shooting these animals won't help at all. Rather, giving them a chance to survive by finding solutions to somehow live side by side. If our small village can make a positive impact on their lives, hopefully others will follow suit. Therefore, we must take responsibility to properly maintain a clean environment in order to avoid any future incidents such as broken glass bottles. Our positive actions will certainly make a huge difference in the lives of polar bears."